So I have my slick here. I've had a couple problems lately. This is the rear section of the boom. 3 times now I've been in the waves, and this has popped off in the waves, leaving me without a boom. So in the waves, that just simply pops out like that. And now you are in trouble, especially if you're in some big waves, to try to get that back in there. It's impossible to get it back in there this way because of this, obviously the strut being inflated. So you have to, in the water, try to remove this end, but because the strut's inflated, it's difficult to get this off. Get this out of this pocket here, and then replace the backside, and then put this back in. I tell you, that is a lot of work in the water, in this waves. So what I did was, I got from Costco, those wipes that you use for your face. It's got a little plastic covering. So I put the plastic, that thing that seals that little thing for your face. I put that inside of here, which is kind of a backing. I'm actually going to sand that down because it's kind of sharp. And then I put a piece of stick, just a simple piece of stick inside of here. And what that piece of stick pushed up against that little bracket right there that I created allows the boom to be a little bit longer. So because the boom is now not going all the way into the pocket, what it does is extend and make the other side longer, not allowing this to come out. Because if it comes out constantly, that's just a problem to have with this slick here. So what I've gone and done now is I took a drill and I drilled a hole through the back of the boom here. Now I'm just wondering if that's going to get water inside of it, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to drill a hole through the back. I'm going to get some coil, some string, and basically after I drill the hole through there, I'm going to tie it off on the back part of this piece over here on the back of the strut, so that it won't come out. Because again, twice now I've had that happen, and it's not fun. It's a pain in the ass. The other thing I did on this was the system that they had on here for the original. I took off the clamps and I couldn't get them back on again, so I went back to the old kite surfing method of just using some zip ties. Also, the center strut wouldn't inflate when I pumped up the main, so actually when I took this off, I had to poke a hole I used a piece of plastic and cleared the valve so that I could get the air into the main strut. So now I can inflate the main strut, because the only other way I could have inflated the strut was using this valve. So another problem I had was the center strut wouldn't deflate. So again, I poked a little piece of plastic into the valve on both sides, clearing them so that I could basically inflate it and deflate it without having to pump this up separately every time. A little bit of humbug. That's the way of us being the new generation here and figuring this stuff out. So hopefully this helps somebody, so you don't get stuck in the waves like I have a couple times now and just almost helpless, almost have to just deflate and paddle in. Aloha.